Hey everyone, welcome to Team Amasian's podcast. I am Kaori Takee, and joining me as always is
and Campia.
And today we're going to talk about WrestleMania, Raw, SmackDown, and all the stuff circling around the squared circles. It's a square circle, right?
Well, whatever. That works too.
So we picked today's topics based on the WWE topics that interest us. And of course, we're going to talk more about other wrestling areas as well. But we just haven't gotten to those. I think we're just overwhelmed with WWE news.
Absolutely. I think we talked about it earlier. We're going to make it a point to try to catch up on AEW just to kind of have a more round perspective on what's going on in the wrestling world. But there is a lot of WWE news coming out.
Yeah. And I mean, under the light of the coronavirus and all that's going on in the world, it's quite interesting to see how Vince McMahon and the WWE is handling their network, really. So speaking of network, the first thing that we saw, or we want to talk about, or we're going to talk about, is that the WWE network is free at the moment. What was usually a $10 a month payment to get all access is now going to be free. However, WrestleMania, which airs next week, will not be free. And what do you think about this?
Well, I think it's definitely the right time to make the network free, as everyone is safer at home, working from home, quarantine, however you want to call it, due to COVID-19. All of the streaming services are just actively being sought after. And so WWE Network, rightfully so, putting their network on for free just makes sense. And, we talked about it a little bit last week that there's a lot of people hurting out there. There's a lot of people whose incomes have been impacted. And for the WWE to recognize that, hopefully as a reason why they're making it free as well, I think that helps a lot of these people who are fans but just can't afford the network.
I think that's a really, really good point because, yes, a lot of us are out of jobs. People who are self-employed or people who are in the service industry currently aren't making any kind of income. So everything is really important. $10 is a lot for one entire month when you're looking at rent and wondering how to make ends meet and how to make that happen. So they're doing a great service for themselves and for us by making it free. Not everything on the network is going to be free at the time, but they're going to have, WrestleMania, Royal Rumble, SummerSlam, Survivor Series, TakeOver, UK TakeOver, and the 24 series. So that's pretty cool.
It's a lot of content.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been finding myself in the last few weeks just going on YouTube and watching old matches. And I even noticed on ESPN the other night that they aired WrestleMania 32 for free.
That's
awesome.
Even
all of the, you have to think about the fact that the sports world in general has been impacted. There's no sports going on. There's no basketball. Baseball should have started. So ESPN is even hurting for content to the point where, well, nice for us WWE fans, they're airing old WrestleManias as well, just to kind of fill the space.
Yeah, and I think that when we think about streaming networks, we think first and foremost Netflix. And I can tell you that 2 weeks into Netflix, and as much as I like Netflix, and I mentioned this to Anne before we started doing this, that I'm kind of tired of it. I need a break from it. So it's kind of a breath of fresh air that we have other things to look at, of course, So I'm happy to hear that that's going to happen. Sad that it's WWE Network will not have WrestleMania night 1 or 2 for next week, but we'll find a way to watch it and get back to you. What do you guys think about that? And then our next topic, and this is a big one, is the big dog, aka Roman Reigns, is pulling out of WrestleMania allegedly. Aww. He's been battling leukemia, so he's obviously has the autoimmune deficiency, so he has to, he's immunocompromised, so he obviously has to step away if that's the right thing to do, I think, for him.
Absolutely. I think it absolutely is the right thing to do for Roman. He has to consider his own health in light of everything that's going on. Obviously, I'm sure he does not want to have to do this. Anyone who has a big event like that at WrestleMania, this is a dream to consistently have these types of matches at WrestleMania. But it's saying something if somebody who, like Roman Reigns, at his status, is putting his health in front of everything and saying, I can't compete for that reason.
Yeah, and I think that's a really valid reason. I even think that even if some of the wrestling superstars felt uncomfortable wrestling because of the coronavirus, they shouldn't have to wrestle. This is a livelihood that's at risk and it's dangerous. And I think I was talking about this in the previous podcast, where wrestling and its contact sport makes it a pretty, dangerous sport to be doing at this time. I know WWE is doing their best. So I think Roman did the right thing because we want to see him stay healthy and we don't want to see him get sick. I just find it so funny that Roman Reigns, the big dog, we all don't really care for him, but we really care for him as a person,
Yeah, I totally hear you on that.
We were watching him and Seth Rollins in a car, and it was just really cute.
Yeah, it's he almost has the John Cena factor for me, where I'm not a big fan of their gimmicks.
Yes.
They don't typically get pop. They actually get booed quite more than they get pop. But outside of the ring, they both seem like very genuinely nice people. They're just very personable.
Mm-hmm.
And again, it's just unfortunate that he has to pull out under these circumstances. And it begs the question of who are they going to put against Goldberg now? Right.
And speaking of the match that they were presenting to us, Roman Reigns against Goldberg, I wasn't too excited about it anyway.
No,
to be honest with you.
I mean, it was spear versus spear, but come on, I don't know. Goldberg's another one where
the retirement issue.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, why is he back? But sure, he carries a name for himself. I think that match would have been over in like 2 minutes after each person speared each other.
Hey, who would they have won too? I just find it odd. And yeah, that retirement thing for me is something that kind of, after a while, if you're going to retire it over and over again, it's like the boy who cried wolf. We don't take it too seriously.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, absolutely. We talked about that last week with Undertaker.
Right.
Although it's Undertaker, and when you say Undertaker and then you say Goldberg, I'm not going to care. Yeah, I'm not going to care if Undertaker wants to pretend retire every year. Goldberg, on the other hand, I just never cared for him from the beginning.
Yeah.
He was always like to me, and I know they're not even the same type of gimmick, but he was always the copycat Stone Cold Steve Austin for me. Because I remember he came out in WCW during the time Austin was really hot. And I'm thinking, who is this other bald Caucasian guy that thinks he can like run in and like beat people's asses? He's not Stone Cold Steve Austin. So it just from the beginning, I've never really been a fan of Goldberg. I don't know about you.
No, I feel the same way. His matches were quite predictable after a while. The first few, like, oh, this is kind of cool. But after a while, you know what's going to happen. And I know a couple years ago, during his quote-unquote retirement run, he fought up against Brock Lesnar. And for me, I was like, come on. Like, it's Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
That's not a thing.
No, I know. It's so true. And the people that are potentially supposed to fill Roman Reigns' spot at WrestleMania, I've heard rumors of Corbin, Matt Riddle. Do you have anyone in mind that you think would make a good, formidable opponent for him?
Well, based on hearing, if it's Corbin, it's going to be squash. If it's Riddle, definitely squash. This is just my predictions, obviously.
Yeah.
They put Braun Strowman's name in the hat too. I would maybe, if between all those names I've heard, that would probably be the most intriguing one for me to watch. But I think at this point, Goldberg is going to win, is my prediction.
No matter who they put against him.
I think so.
Yeah.
I just can't see. I even thought maybe he would have beat Roman Reigns in a way that wouldn't hurt Roman Reigns. And it feels like nothing can hurt Roman Reigns at this point anyway.
Yeah. I have to agree with that. I think they would not have promised Goldberg come out of retirement and then have him job to Matt Riddle or something.
Right. That's why I was like, I don't think that's going to happen. Unless like, okay, you know what? Maybe John Cena versus Goldberg. Let's see what happens
That
then.
could be interesting too.
Okay, boom.
Yeah. I think you're right. I think Strowman will put the best match against Goldberg. I did like the idea of Riddle just because it's they have
Riddle.
history, and
Yeah.
it's so random for them to come back together in that type of spotlight. But you're right. I think Riddle would just job to Goldberg in that sense. So
Yeah, it would be just a squash match for
Yep.
sure. Another note, Rusev, apparently he donated $20,000 to WWE employees who are currently out of a job, which I thought was pretty cool. He tweeted, in Bulgaria, we say, it's not a lot, but it's from the heart. I pledge $20,000 to any of my WWE extended family that are sitting at home without income. We can't do it without y'all. Production, security, etc. Love y'all.
yeah.
So if this is true, that's really, really gratuitous of him. I think that's really cool of him to do.
Yeah, absolutely. And knowing that Rusev's contract is expiring soon, I can't imagine he is banking a lot of money right now. He hasn't been in a match since February, I think.
It says last show, February 17th.
Yeah. So the fact that, 20,000, and he's even kind of putting himself down for the pledge. I think any pledge right now is very, very nice. The fact that he's thinking about WWE as from a production side, you can't even go on without security. You can't go on without the people behind camera.
Yeah.
And so that speaks a lot to just him as a person outside of WWE.
Yes.
But he's even so nice to say 20,000 is not a lot. I think that will go a long way for some people.
Oh, absolutely. That's if you put $1,000 a person, that's 20 people saved for a month, maybe, perhaps,
Mm-hmm.
And he obviously hasn't appeared, like you said. He's not going to appear in WrestleMania 36. So he's just sitting in the sidelines with a contract dispute, allegedly. And he still wanted to do this.
Yeah. It's so nice.
Very, very nice. I guess he's still a part of it in some way because his wife is obviously still a huge participant on Raw. And she's a total diva or whatever you want to say.
Mm-hmm.
So I think even if he decides that WWE isn't for him, we will probably be hearing notes of him through her or through AEW or whatever he decides to choose. But it just warms my heart. It makes me kind of like him more and more.
Absolutely.
When he first came out and it was just Lana kind of making this Russian accent, and that disappeared, by the way. I wasn't that into him, but then when his sense of humor started to exude and when they allowed him a little more personable creative control or whatever it looked like, he became a more likable wrestler and his gimmick became more interesting.
Oh, yeah. I 100% agree with that. I have always thought of him as the strong man, just from appearance. He is someone to be reckoned with.
Uh-huh.
I love outside of WWE following his social media at the time when him and Lana were, and I'm doing quotes so you guys can't see it, but quote unquote still together. They were very cute together in terms of like how they would train together and all these things. So you could tell that he definitely had a kind heart and he has some loyalty to the WWE, like you're saying, whether he ends up with staying with the WWE or going somewhere else, the fact that he's still recognizing that his extended family needs help and he's trying to help, that's fantastic.
And also, I just want to point out that Rusev has Pomeranians.
Oh.
And I'm obsessed with Pomeranians. So if you go to his Instagram, he loves the little pom-poms, which is so funny because he's this gigantic brute.
I love it.
And he's just obsessed with them. There's no pictures of Lana because for obvious reasons, but his pom-poms are like all about it.
I love it. I love it so much.
Cute.
It just makes sense. And I mean, I know we have a topic after this, but I was hoping we could, just because this kind of streams into the Braun Strowman.
Well, let's do it.
Tweets.
Let's talk about Braun Strowman
Because talk about on the flip side of things, how people are reacting to what's going on with coronavirus. You got Braun Strowman who's going up on Twitter saying kind of the opposite of what Rusev is saying, right?
Yeah, he's saying pretty much, I'm obviously not taking his words verbatim, but somewhere along the lines of, tough shit, guys. Don't complain. I made my way to the top because I didn't want to put myself in this predicament. So it felt on the other side of the spectrum where he came off a little more heartless.
Mm-hmm.
The real heel of real life.
Yeah, and he definitely got criticized for it. I mean, he was... And I know this is not about the extended family. This is not about the production people or the security. He was talking more about these indie wrestlers who are, you know, in a position that he was not too long ago. And I don't know, it's in the context of, hey, I made myself go broke. I drove myself to Florida. I had $150 to my name. And now look at where I am today. That's all fantastic. I think every wrestler has some sort of story like that.
Yes.
You know, with the exception of those legacy people who may have had family members who have helped them get in. But, you know, I think that story alone for Braun is amazing. The fact that he's brought himself up to where he is today. But in the light of everything that's going on, this was not the right time to then go and criticize indie wrestlers who are trying to do the same thing he was doing a few years ago.
Well, that's the thing. Oftentimes, if you have something pretty harsh to say, it might be best not to say it on a platform where everyone can read it. It doesn't make you look good. It's not a good look for your brand. And I gotta say too, you know, for everyone, whether you're an indie wrestler or an actress or a host or anyone that's trying to make it through a creative outlet has a difficult time. Some people are not at the right time, at the right place. Some people can work so hard, work their asses off, and it's just unfortunate that it just doesn't happen for them.
Yeah.
You know? So it's not really fair to say, because I believe in hard work, but sometimes hard work doesn't always pay off. That's the harsh reality of it.
Right. He's probably one of hundreds of people who have quit their jobs, packed their stuff, and tried to do the same thing and just couldn't get there.
That's what I'm saying. So I think it's kind of unfair for him to say, I worked this hard, so you can't complain. Yeah, they can.
Yes,
they can. It's difficult. It's difficult out there. And obviously some people might be smaller wrestlers and you could have been up against their spot, but maybe Vince McMahon wanted the big Braun Strowman guy that he didn't want the small Ricochet at the time or whatever. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's you just got to show compassion. Everyone has their own path. And that's why that tweet really frustrated me.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I agree.
So then we want to talk briefly about, and I lost my notes, but let's talk about two of WWE superstars were quarantined, one of which was Dana Brooke, because she's allegedly super, super sick. So we don't know if she has it or not, but obviously if you're sick during this time, you got to lock yourself at home. And then the other one is Rey Mysterio, who had a match in WrestleMania, and now I don't know if they replaced him or they're seeking for someone else, but he is quarantined as well.
Yeah. I mean, Dana Brooke, I just think, you know, I really hope that's not coronavirus for her, and whatever she is suffering from, hopefully she can recover very, very soon. But you can't take any chances right now. If you're just having any type of symptom that may be related to COVID, you've got to quarantine yourself just for the sake of not only yourself, but for everybody that's around you.
For everyone around you.
Which,
absolutely.
You know, in the case of Rey Mysterio, who just had a match recently, that's also can be scary for everybody else who was involved in the match at that time.
Andrade.
Yeah, there's definitely potential there for, if he contracted it, there's potential there for anyone else that was in contact with him to also have it. Yeah,
it's scary and frightening, because then that means Andrade has it and it doesn't show up for 2 weeks, and then he's just passed it on to other people as well. It's a shame for Mysterio, because he was on track to perhaps get the United States Championship.
Yeah.
I'm not a Rey Mysterio fan, but I can imagine from a wrestler standpoint, when you're thinking, I'm going over, and then this happened, it's just unfortunate.
Oh, I know. Yeah. Just a big roadblock that you could never have predicted.
Exactly. Braun Strowman.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. Like going back to that. Yeah. I think it's just one of those, the precautions that they're taking. I am happy to see that even if Vince is so persistent that the show must go on and WrestleMania must go on in some sort of fashion, that they are open to the people, you know, putting the people first. So if they have to quarantine, if Roman's like, I can't do it because I'm nervous about everything that's going on, then let them stay home, let them quarantine, let them do what they need to do to heal. Yeah,
and I think as a fan, we would all be okay with we would have been okay if WrestleMania just didn't have to go on, or it was pushed back. At least I think so.
I know we talked about that last week, but I think this will continue to be a topic of conversation, especially going into next weekend when we actually watch the production value of what they put together. Because as far as we know, and I know we're going to go into the actual WrestleMania rundown, but as far as we know, they're shooting these matches in random locations, and then they're going to string something together that should be what we call WrestleMania for this year.
Yeah, it should be interesting.
So it's definitely going to be a surprise, I think, for all of us in terms of how they're going to string everything together and make it feel like WrestleMania.
I know, it's almost like we're going to be watching a video game, a Street Fighter, where you just have two different opponents going off at each other. Location next.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about some recaps, okay? I am going to admit, first and foremost, I did not watch any of these shows in its entirety, talking about Raw and SmackDown, but I have the recaps and results up here, and I'm just going to go through some of them because it's important to see what this looks like leading up to WrestleMania.
Oh, for sure.
First, we had let's see. So actually, a lot more happened this time around than the previous week. There's a little more matches involved. So I think it kind of got bigger. But I just still can't get invested when we're not there. We, meaning other wrestling fans.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. We talked about that too, that just the audience-less shows in general are making it a very interesting watch for us. Mm-hmm. The audience is such a big part of WWE and the audience reaction. And, you know, it could be a boring match, but the audience is going crazy or chanting something really funny. And that makes it entertaining for you as a viewer. And so it has been really, really challenging. And I commend WWE for trying to put together a good show without the audience. It's just, we could absolutely feel it as you watch, you know, Raw and SmackDown. These are the shows leading up to WrestleMania that are supposed to be like the big shows that are supposed to set you up for WrestleMania. And it's just challenging when you don't have anyone in the audience.
Yeah, it falls a little short. So some of the highlights that looking at, I guess I just highlights, but interesting, not necessarily what I like. Shayna Baszler, she was interviewed in the ring when Becky Lynch, you know, hits her with a chair.
Yep.
I don't know what's going to happen with this match. I don't know why I brought this one up.
Well, I think...
Who do you think is going to win?
We talked about it again last week.
I know.
And we talked about how we thought Charlotte and
Ripley
are such a better matchup.
Yes.
This one, I just can't see Becky losing.
That's the problem. Do we ever see Becky losing?
Right. So is that why we don't find it so interesting? Because it's almost one of those, we know who's going to win no matter how they try to spin it with Shayna.
Yeah, she's kind of like, you get that Roman Reigns vibe, like, oh, here she comes.
Right.
And even when she acts like she's a little frightened, it doesn't work.
No. So I think what they could do is give us a swerve and have Shayna win, which would be shocking for me.
Yeah, absolutely. It would be absolutely shocking. But Shayna is still kind of tied to NXT right now.
Right.
So I don't know how that would work unless they decide to pull her up right away.
Right.
She would be pretty good on Raw, I think, because we do need someone like that.
Right.
Now that, what's her name? Ronda's gone. Mm-hmm. Not to compare them, but they are kind of, you know, in that same kind of brute class.
Yeah, I think Shayna's definitely got better mic skills than Ronda Rousey does. So
yeah, and well, the fact that, and not much better, by the way, but and the fact that Becky Lynch beat Shayna, beat Ronda and Charlotte at WrestleMania last year was kind of disappointing for me. I don't know why I'm talking about that, but it's a year later and I'm still like, why'd that happen?
Because they linger with you, you know?
Yeah, it does. It does.
I think that's why. I think at this point, who is going to beat Becky? Who is Becky going to allow herself to job to?
Pretty much. That's pretty much what it is. And only person you could think of is Charlotte, but that's not going to happen because they already had their match.
Right.
And that didn't work out for them.
Right. I think the one that interests me is the Orton and Edge.
Yes, that was the one I was going to mention next. I think that's a pretty good heat.
Yes.
And it's all started at the Royal Rumble. When Randy was about to take him out, Edge looks at him like, what are you doing? We are homies. And Orton's like, I'm not doing anything. And then Edge takes him out.
This is my favorite form of Randy Orton.
Yes.
Is when he is just really malicious and just
Yes.
unapologetic. And he's out for blood. And Edge is that, nice guy that came back to wrestling, wanted to just, have a good time and show everyone like, hey, I'm back. This is exciting for me. And Orton's there to squash that vibe. And I love it.
Yeah. This is when you say the Viper is back for sure. And for a while, sometimes whenever Randy Orton came out, despite his athleticism and what a great wrestler he was, I wasn't interested or entertained by his gimmick. And the last couple WrestleManias that he's been in, I wasn't too interested in the matches he was in, but this one is something that I'm looking forward to for sure.
Yeah, and I do believe Randy is in great shape to do a last man standing match. I'm interested to see how physically prepared Edge is for a type of match like that.
I know.
Considering his injuries, considering he hasn't had very long matches, I am interested to see if he could last the whole time. I'm a little nervous as well because I don't want to see him get re-injured or
that's why
himself.
They got to have, a veteran like Orton in the ring to kind of dance with him and protect him in that way.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I think this is a good, solid coupling, if you will, for WrestleMania. And then we have, obviously, Charlotte, same stuff. AJ Styles cutting a promo. Oh, the Street Profits, right? Street Profits. Anne really likes the Street Profits. They defeated Shane Thorne and Brenda Vick.
We want the smoke. Is that what they say?
Yeah.
I can't remember, but let's go to the Street Profits real quick because they brought them up and I just haven't seen them make good use of them like they were being used in NXT.
That's the problem. I don't know what it is, but that is usually the case with a lot of people who come up, is they kind of just disappear.
Yeah. They
even did that with Finn, right? And Finn is more glorious when he returned to NXT. It's just very hard for them to place them in the right place, with some exceptions. Alexa Bliss, she was a star in the terms of when she got picked or drafted, no one really even knew who she was.
Right.
Like, okay, we heard about these people, but we didn't hear about Alexa Bliss. And then boom, like she escalated to the top. So we'll see.
Yeah.
So let's move on to the Blue Brand SmackDown. So apparently Bray Wyatt issues a new challenge. So this is going to be addressed, or it was addressed. I think it was going to be addressed with John Cena, because he's going to have a Firefly Funhouse match with John Cena.
What does that even mean? Can you tell me?
From what I understand, is Bray Wyatt's The Fiend ego is, fiery. So blend it with his Funhouse Pee Wee Hermanus
yes,
gimmick.
Pee Wee Herman is right. Yeah,
it becomes the Firefly Funhouse match.
So weird. Does that mean they're going to have things from his set like out as weapons that you can use? I'm trying to picture
that would
what
be
kind of
cool.
Means. Yeah.
And when you think about it, who better to be in this match than John Cena, though? I can't.
That is
lie.
So true.
Right?
That is so true. You're right.
Like, I can't imagine anyone else being a better match for a Firefly Funhouse match.
You're so right on that. Yes, that's going to be good.
Yeah. I think I'm like, okay, I want to see what this looks like. This is fresh out of the gates. What is... Yeah, are they going to have dollhouses that they're throwing at each other?
I'm down. If there's some humor in there too to kind of break up. If you're not going to get the audience, maybe throw in a little humor in the match. That might make it interesting and different. I'm down for that.
Yeah, right. We're down for something different. Yes. Is what we're saying. And then we have good one here. The tag team New Day and the Usos ended in a no contest.
Hell yeah.
That's a shame. But
well.
And then I think Triple H was interviewed. He had a backstage interview, and he was kind of talking about WrestleMania 36 and advertising Goldberg and Roman Reigns. Obviously, things are changing, so he kind of addressed what was going on there.
Right.
And let's see, Drew, Shinsuke, Dolph. speaking on the phone backstage, Elias King Corbin.
What are they doing with Dolph? Is he potentially going to have a match at WrestleMania?
I just think he's just mid-card for life.
Yeah.
He did throw, from what I'm reading, he did throw down a WrestleMania match challenge, but we'll see, because let's talk about WrestleMania.
Okay, sure.
Okay. Let me get to my notes, unless you want to get started.
Well, I mean, we talked a little bit about Rob Gronkowski kind of just being the common thread between the two nights. I am hoping with his energy that he will be able to tie everything together that they're trying to string together. Maybe there's something there in terms of just his energy alone and bringing the two nights together. But let's see.
I mean, this is a decked out.
Yeah.
So I think what we can do is, just for shits and giggles, let's predict.
I'm down.
While we do this. Okay?
And look, here's the thing. Kaori and I were supposed to be in Tampa for this. So I am bummed that we won't get to see this live. But you're right. There are some really good matches that are lined up for this year. It's
stacked. I think because they have 2 nights, they're just throwing everyone in there, which is kind of cool.
Right.
All right. So first one here is... By the way, guys, this can obviously change because we still have a week before Saturday hits.
That's a good point.
So this is as far as we know, and our opinions could change within a week as well, based on what Raw and SmackDown play out. So WWE's championship is Brock Lesnar versus Drew McIntyre. Prediction. Ugh. I say Brock.
I'm going to go with Drew.
Oh, yeah, but you like Drew.
I do.
I do like Drew,
I just saw this video, and I don't know if you guys have seen it. Let me just talk about it for a second.
Okay.
Because it was so Lord of the Rings-esque. It's his training video that just came out.
Oh, geez. You know I like that.
He's like training in the mountains.
No.
And he's got like these big steel barrels that he's carrying on his shoulders like running through the mountains and like doing CrossFit type things with ropes and stuff. And I'm like, yeah, this guy, if there's anyone that's going to give Brock a run for his money, he's a big guy. Like size-wise, I think he can stand up to Brock. It's just a matter of, can he avoid Heyman too? Because I think Paul Heyman's going to probably be on the sidelines too, right?
Oh, yeah.
So there's always the possibility of some cheating action going on the Lesnar side.
Yeah, I just don't think Heyman will interfere at that point.
Yeah.
I don't think that's going to happen. I do think Brock will win, but I think there is going to be a good show between the two of them.
Mm-hmm.
And I just want to point out how much Drew McIntyre has evolved from his days in 3-man band with Heath Slater and whatever, I forgot his name. Darn it. The Indian guy, Canadian/Indian guy.
I'm going to look it up.
He was a champ, and I just totally forgot his name as well. But how much he's evolved to a point where he is like ¡1 top contender at WrestleMania. It is phenomenal. Jinder Mahal, right? And also Jinder Mahal, he evolved a lot too. He left WWE and got buff and came back. Same thing with Drew McIntyre, right? They both did the same thing. They're like, you know what? 3-man band ain't working. Heath Slater, you stay here. And then they dismantled. And now he's going for the WWE Championship, which is probably his dream come true.
Yeah, for sure. It would be awesome to see him win.
Yeah. It would be awesome, but I just don't think that's going to happen.
All right, so you got Lesnar, I got Drew.
Yes. And then we got the Universal Championship, Goldberg versus Reigns.
Versus blank.
So since Roman Reigns pulled out, it's going to be question mark, maybe Braun Strowman.
Yeah.
I think at this point, again, unless, well, I'm just going to say Goldberg.
Yeah, I think we said Goldberg earlier.
Goldberg, no.
I just can't see them giving it to whoever they put in that slot.
Yeah, and then Goldberg is going to retire.
Right.
On Monday Night Raw. And then we got Edge versus Randy Orton in that last man standing match.
Ooh.
It's tough. It's really tough. I feel like they're going to have to give it to Edge, though.
I know.
I think they have to.
If we're talking about like who we think the WWE is going to give it to, I think you're right. Who do I want to win? I'm going to go with Orton.
Yeah. I want Orton to win, too. But I think Edge is going to take it. Especially since his wife commentates for NXT, so it's kind of like,
I know that's true. You do have the Beth Phoenix factor, and Randy's going to be around for a long time, I think. So
I mean, yeah, or no, that wouldn't happen. I was thinking, yeah, right, like a distraction or something.
Ooh, but that's always juicy when that happens.
Yeah,
I like that. But yeah, I'll go with Orton.
Yeah,
even though I think Edge is.
I'm same with you.
Okay.
Well, no, I just think it before I think Edge, so I think I'll stick with Edge.
Okay,
I'll stick with Edge. Okay, John Cena versus The Fiend. Oof, that's tough.
When was John? Oh man,
I think The Fiend. It just depends. Do they want The Fiend to go over, or do they just? Because it doesn't matter what happens to John Cena, to be honest.
No, yeah, you're right. Like he's not going anywhere. You know what I mean? Like he's already up there. This is Wyatt's setting.
Yes.
So he should have the advantage because they're in his fun house. Yeah, I'm going to go with you. I'm going to go with The Fiend too.
Okay. All right. And yes. Raw Women's Championship. Okay, God. Becky Lynch, Shayna.
Go ahead, pick it. Let me hear you say it.
I think Becky Lynch is going to win. Yes.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. All right. I would love to be shocked, though.
Do you think, okay, here's a question. Do you think if Becky somehow loses to Shayna, does that give you any change of heart for Becky Lynch?
No.
Okay.
Moving
on.
Do you?
I think it definitely changes my perspective a little bit in the fact that, maybe she is open to what's best for the company and storylines rather than herself. I don't know.
I do think if Shayna wins, there's going to be some sort of interference. I don't think it'll be on her own.
Yeah, no, that's true.
So it won't really harm her. It'll be like she's cheating or something.
Right.
And then we've got the NXT Women's Championship. This is one I'm really looking forward to. I think the build-up has been solid, at least what I think.
Yeah.
Rhea Ripley versus Charlotte. It's really, really tough.
I'm going with Rhea.
That's so tough. It's so tough. I'm going to say Charlotte.
Nice.
But because this one, eyes are peeled.
Do you think if Charlotte wins that she's got more screen time on NXT then? Because she will be the champion.
I would love that.
Right?
Wouldn't that be awesome?
Yeah. No, I think that would create such a good bridge between main card and NXT.
Yeah. That's a very good point.
I'm going to go with Ripley, though.
SmackDown Women's Championship, Bayley, who's the champion right now, versus Lacey Evans, versus Tamina, versus Naomi, versus Sasha Banks. Oh, God.
I'm going with Sasha Banks.
Oh, you're probably right. Because Sasha Banks is the final challenger in this so far, I think she's going to win. People love Sasha Banks, and I think people would go crazy if she won, and they'd be disappointed if she didn't win.
Yeah, no, I agree.
I would want Naomi to win.
That would be great. Right? Yeah, that's true. That would be really nice for her, but I just can't see her going over Sasha. I think Sasha coming back.
Yeah.
You've got the Sasha and Bayley, friendship.
Yes, whatever. They have so much at stake.
Yeah, so it just makes sense.
Mm-hmm. All right. And then we got The Undertaker versus AJ Styles in a boneyard match. I don't think Undertaker comes out of retirement knowing he's going to lose. So I think Undertaker is getting it.
So he's lost once since he's gone
to
come out of
Brock
retirement?
Lesnar. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you. I guess I can't see him losing to AJ Styles.
Right. Even though AJ Styles is excellent, I just don't see it happening.
In a boneyard match.
Yeah. Which makes me laugh.
I know, me too.
Can you put bones in the ring?
Trying to picture what that is, but
can you guys wear dog ears? It's funny.
Which is going to be even better when there's no audience.
I know. So well, think about that Firefly Funhouse.
They're just like shuffling through boxes of stuff underneath the ring, and you could hear everything. It's so weird.
Kevin Owens, Seth Rollins.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yes. Those are both formidable people.
Yes.
I think Rollins is going to win, but I want Owens to win.
Yeah, I want Owens to win, so I'm going to go with Owens too.
Okay. I'm just going with what I think is going to
I think you're right, like the whole time that we've been going through this whole thing. But,
We'll
you know.
I see Sami Zayn versus Daniel Bryan.
Ooh,
I think
I love me some Sami Zayn.
I love Sami Zayn, and I do think because of rumors of Daniel Bryan saying he's kind of getting tired of being a full-time employee and he wants to go part-time, Sami Zayn might take it.
I'm down for that.
Yes.
Wouldn't it be great if Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn won
excellent.
at WrestleMania?
They're really good wrestlers.
I love them.
Yeah. Raw Tag Team Championship, Street Profits versus Andrade and Angel Garza.
Ugh.
I'd like to say, and you know what I'm going to say, Anne?
Go for it.
It's just, I of course they would put Andrade and Angel Garza together, right?
You mean they wouldn't put Shinsuke and Angel Garza together?
You know, like that just wouldn't happen, right?
Yes, I think I understand your reasoning for that.
It's just so funny because how many years has WWE evolved and they still put the same
Kaori and Ann
races together? You know what I mean?
Yes.
It's so...
Yeah, I know.
But that being said, I think Andrade and Garza are going to win.
Me too. As much as I love the Street Profits, I think they're going to lose those belts.
And I think they're going to lose it kind of quick.
You think so?
I think so.
Yeah.
SmackDown Tag Team Championship, The Miz and John Morrison, which is pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
New Day versus Usos. What the hell? Ladder match.
There's 3 of them. Okay. Okay.
I know. I'm like, well, what the hell?
Ooh.
Any of these guys, I'd be down to win. I would say Miz and John Morrison retain.
Yeah, but I mean, just as you were saying, things changing all the time, and I'd have to double check on this. It's saying that the Miz might not have taped his part in it, which would make this match very interesting.
So John Morrison and another guy that looks like John Morrison.
Yeah. Okay, let's assume that they did have it. I will pick the Usos.
Right.
For no reason other than I love the Usos.
I think under that light, maybe the Usos, because the Miz allegedly did not appear on Friday. So,
gosh, so interesting.
It is. The build-up.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone loses to coronavirus.
Yeah, there you go. You win. It's absolutely true. That is exactly what's happening right now.
I kind of say Aleister Black. Thank you. Versus Bobby Lashley. Aleister Black's gonna win.
You think so?
Maybe. Yes.
God. Okay, I'll go with Lashley then.
Okay.
Yeah, let's change it up.
All right. Elias versus King Corbin.
This is a good one, actually.
It's a good one because I hate and love them both.
Mm-hmm.
And I really hate King Corbin. But
Me too.
He's supposed to be hated, I think.
I'm going to go with Corbin.
Yeah, I think Corbin, as much as I even hate saying that.
Yeah.
And then finally, Otis versus Dolph Ziggler.
Oh, he does have a match.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, I will go with Otis because he's one half of Heavy Machinery, my favorite tag team right now.
It has to be Otis.
Let's do it.
And he got Mandy Rose on the side.
Hell yeah.
Odd coupling. Because, Ziggler. He loses, it's all good. He wins, it's all good. Right?
I feel bad for the guy.
I mean, he's getting a paycheck.
That's true. He's very consistent.
Yeah. I mean, if you are solidly there forever and you're happy there, power to you, I guess. Right?
Yeah, that's true. It's very steady for him.
Alicia Fox, one of them.
Yep.
She's like 10 years plus there and she's just hanging on and getting that paycheck.
That's true.
So, all right. Guys, that wraps up our recap and results from what is going down with WWE Wrestling the past week. Tune in next week when we talk about the results of WWE and if our predictions were right or wrong. In the meantime, go ahead and follow me at KAORIOUS, Kaorius. Where can you follow you, Anne?
You can follow me at Ann Campia. You can follow the both of us at Team Amasian.
That's right, Team Amasian. Don't forget to subscribe, and thanks for tuning in and comment and let us know what you think. We'll talk to you later. Thanks a lot. Bye.
Bye.